Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for tuning in to round, I believe it's 3. We are in round 3. Irafro versus Evildice. I am your caster, Ezreal TV, or Tyler, whatever you like. Evildice. Started the bans with Rise. In previous games, I did cast a game that he did earlier. He bans Rise a lot. It's a personal preference, I believe. I would love to get a post-game interview with him. Maybe not, but... So Rengar's coming out from Irafro as a ban. Cho'Gath, Vayne from Evildice. Irafro responding with Jace, Yorick. All of these still extremely solid bans in 1v1. Keep in mind this is the Curse 1v1 tournament. This is the top 32 people. Let me turn off Pandora. What are you doing? Get out of here. This is the top 32. We started with about 2,300 people, and we are to the final 32 players. Evildice banning Yorick. All of these people are playing for a prize of $2,000 and a chance to be on Team Curse as their sub. And Irafro bans Jax. Let me get 1 second here. Start whenever. Right now, these are the furthest along games at the point, at this point rather. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens here. I forgot to tell them something vital, not very vital, but just to kind of mess around with their picks for a while because I don't have a delay on the stream right now. Wasn't able to get that set up. Something about options. But I don't think it'll be a problem. I think they both understand at this point how that rolls. Rammus coming out from Evildice. Maybe a little AP Rammus we might see. I talked about this last game because I really want to see it. Last game I cast with Evildice in it, he just kept picking Rammus, and he kept getting my hopes up. I don't know if you ever played AP Rammus, but it is fun. Afro? I'm just going to call him Afro. He's got the Karthus picked right now. I don't think that's serious, but I want it to be. I want to see AP Rammus versus Karthus. But as most people who have played in this tournament and done little practicing have realized, really the bruiser, top lane type champions really are going to be in effect. I believe Rengar was banned. I don't think so, though. If he's not, I missed one. He's a good pick. If I had to guess, he's probably banned. Teemo versus Lee Sin are the final picks. I love that with the setup that's going on right now. Like, because they both just pick random stuff so they can't be ghosted, and then both people pick at the same time. I love that. It's kind of a weird setup for it, but it's working out. So, actually, Teemo's got no flash, exhaust, ignite. Let's check out some runes and masteries. He's rocking armor penetration, magic per level, armor seals, attack damage reds. Not bad. That's pretty standard. That's pretty okay. The armor pen quints, a little interesting. Will come to play in trades. Going to be doing a lot of damage. Most likely, based on that build, he's not going AP. He's probably just going for like a bruiser type Wits End build. Probably not Wits End because he's going against Lee Sin, but I know I don't want to look at Lee Sin's stuff. I do that every time. New profile on Evildice. He's got the stim rocking again. Yes, Teemo blind does work on Lee Sin, despite the fact he's already blind. So, Evildice rocking a fairly standard rune build here with attack damage quints and marks, magic resist, flat MR glyphs there, and then flat armor seals. Both players actually opting for the seal, the armor seals, which are actually really good. Lee Sin's page, Evildice's page, very standard. You'll see that page a lot on like AD carries, top laners. It's a very versatile build. If you want just kind of, if I had to pick probably the build that works on the most champions, that's it. And it's going to be good in this setup. He doesn't really know exactly what he's looking at. But with the flat MR and the flat armor, that's going to be great against Teemo, because Teemo does do a little bit of ability power damage, the magic damage, and that's going to help negate that. What's going to happen here with Teemo? Teemo might do a little kiting. I would say full on that that's what he was going to do if he was AP, but he's not AP. He's, at least right now, he might build AP, but his runes are not AP. So with that, I feel like the engages are going to go in Lee Sin's favor, and Teemo's going to have to kind of do kiting, poking. Not really, he doesn't want the full-on engages. He wants to get his damage in and then back off. Teemo's going to have the advantage from a push standpoint. If he can, you know, get out ahead, if he can get out on top first, I think he might have a really good shot at this. Just because he'll keep pushing the wave, keep pushing the wave, keep pushing the wave. Poke the turret. Just if you poke it 100 times or whatever, the turret doesn't heal, they're going to be, you know, Teemo's going to come out pretty good there. Lee Sin has to get in melee range to do that, and that's really risky. Teemo can just sit there, shoot darts at him all day, and be like, what's up? So finally, the spectator delay is up. The bane of my existence. Hate the delay. If you're just now tuning in, keep in mind this is the Curse 1v1 tournament. The top 32 players are in this tournament. They are competing for $2,000 and a chance to be on the Curse team as their sub. These are big stakes. This is your shot. This is their shot right now at going pro, if you really think about it. Teemo stealth right off the bat, because that's just how he works. Now, Evildice in previous games will just sit here and then grab the last pot. Like, this is the range, I guess, on the shop. Like, once you go past that, you can't buy anymore, and he'll just grab the third pot. And I think that's great. That's a great strategy. He gets back in time, not a problem, not a big setup. And I think Teemo might be actually doing the same thing. He finally buys his items. He's going to pick up boots, a Doran shield. Will he grab something else? He's still got money. I know he does. 550. Is he going to grab something? Or is he going to do a little strategy play here? Save up the money for later? I don't know how I would feel about that, but it's an interesting idea. No, he's actually going to get a mix of Doran's items. Grab the Doran shield, the blade. Lee Sin. Waiting for that pot. Grabs it, and is going to keep going. Now, neither player actually went and rushed the brushes. So we're not going to see any crazy early engagement. Well, maybe we might, but not right now. They're going to just barely get to lane in time. Evildice now picking up his abilities. Getting one in each. Same with Teemo. Badger Teemo versus Acolyte Lee Sin. I don't know what your favorite here is, but I'm going to give the favor to Lee Sin. Because Badger Teemo's okay. I'm not going to lie. It's okay. It's not... You know, Acolyte Lee Sin, it's okay. Neither of them are my favorite. Speaking skins, of course. I know a lot of people have hate for Teemo, and Teemo's, you know, getting the blinding dart out immediately, trying to get some auto attacks, but Lee Sin's just dominating him right now. But this is where Teemo's range is going to come into play. When Lee Sin tries to back off, Afro's just going to keep auto attacking him, and the poison is just going to keep ticking away. That Doran shield is going to actually play a big factor here. Lee Sin's just going on the aggressive here, landing the resonating strike. Teemo's forced to exhaust him to get him off. And now Evildice is on the back foot at half health, but Lee Sin actually has such innate sustain that he's just going to be able to auto attack his way back up. Teemo, on the other hand, he's going to have to be chugging some potions. Try to stay in this game. Gets the blinding dart off for some poke. Looks like Teemo's going to be leveling his E first, which is his poison, his damage over time. It's going to make his auto attacks a little more strong. Lee Sin, just every time that's on cooldown, he's just going to jump up there, get some harass in, and just keep poking away at that Teemo. Kill him in the brush, not a problem. Teemo's going to have a chance here. Once he hits level 6, he's going to get some shrooms going. But then again, Lee Sin's going to have the burst. it's really going to come down to who gets the right engage. Because Teemo can do well in this matchup. It's just a little harder for him. Now, we saw this before with Evildice. He likes to contest this health relic. We did actually see him earlier in a Lee Sin versus Lee Sin game. Riveting. And he always went for this health relic. He had it timed perfectly, and every time it was up, he initiated a fight and made him fight for it. You want that health relic? You gotta fight me for it. That's exactly what he's doing here. Teemo's out of potions, relying on that Doran shield regen just to even stay alive right now. But he's getting the pokes off, but it's kind of negligible. I'm wondering, not to say that he's losing right now, but if he went like more of an AP, would he have would he be more dominant right now? And wow, look at that damage. See, this is what I was talking about. Teemo hits level 6, and Lee Sin's still level 5. This could be it. No. So he's going to have to back off, but Lee Sin just hit level 6. He gets his ultimate, picks up the health relic. Teemo almost, like, he was like, wow, I'm doing really well in this exchange. I'm going to keep going on it. Almost didn't even realize it, it seemed like. Maybe if he had that ignite off and maybe a couple more shots, that actually would have came out with a kill. Teemo is ahead in gold right now. Not by much, though. About 200 gold. Now look at Teemo. Strategic mushroom placements. Right on the health relic spot. Saying, you want to fight me for the health relic? No problem. I'm going to make you take damage for it. Now here we go. This is kind of what I talked about pre-game. Where Teemo, having the range advantage, go here. Now, could Teemo go hybrid here? Absolutely. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he went more of like an attack speed with like some, ability power, some attack damage. That would work here because, having the shrooms, he's doing a mix of damage anyway. Might as well buff that up. I've seen that before in this tournament, and it could work here. Triforce would be a great option. It's not normally a good thing on Teemo, but, it provides a lot of stats that could help him out. Now look, Afro's actually in a really good spot. He's taken control of this health relic and is saying, Lee Sin, I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep you at 1. And that's such a huge factor on this. I don't know if you've played, if anyone watching this actually did enter the 1v1 tournament themselves, but the health relics are so crucial on this map, in these 1v1s, and having control of them just really puts you in a driving seat. In the driver's seat, rather. Wow. Grammar. Oh, man. Now, Lee Sin's actually leveling his Tempest first. No, Iron Will, I'm sorry. I think it's the same thing. Safeguard. Wow, words. And here's Teemo kiting over the shrooms. Lee Sin gets the ult off, trying to get Afro into turret range, and then Afro takes the health relic. Evildice running down to blue side's health relic. Afro tries to get him to walk over the shroom. That didn't work. But he's getting these attacks off, and Evildice is actually forced to exhaust him. He almost ran over the mushroom, and then he safeguards away right at the last second. That would have been just pretty bad if Lee Sin just walked right over that mushroom. I think that would have definitely been a kill for Afro. And this is actually going in a different way than I expected it to. Teemo actually, with the great micro plays of dodging Lee Sin's resonating strikes, he came out on top in that engage, and that was fantastic. That was a really good play by Afro. That was fantastic. He's still got that shroom there. The more Teemo gets time to set up here, the better off he's going to be. He's going to be able to put shrooms wherever he wants, and that's going to help him in these engages. Because he's just going to be able to bring Lee Sin to them. And, Lee Sin just having these, like, amazing, instincts of just, dodging the shroom placements. I guess he's just doing a lot of outside thinking and saying, where would he put these? Okay, he's probably put them on the relic. I'm not going to walk there. I would say Teemo right now is in a commanding position. He's 500 gold ahead, almost 600. And Afro just farming these health relics. This is looking very good for him. Look at that wall he's got set up. Oh, you want to jump to me, Lee Sin? I'm going to slow you. And this is why Teemo is such a great champion on this map. He's annoying. Just like he is in 5v5. But it's maximized because you have nowhere to go. Evildice kind of on the back foot right now. And by kinda, I mean he really is on the back foot. What could he do to kind of stay in the game here? Well, on his back, it's really going to depend on what he buys. He's got less gold than Afro, so his purchases are going to have to be way worth it. He's trying to stop them from popping his mushrooms, and that's great. Microing them over. He wasn't able to avoid that one, but that's okay. He's still got a great setup bottom. Evildice really cannot go in right now. We might see Evildice go for... I mean, Teemo's doing a mix of damage. He's only got about 5 ability power, and that's only because he's got the Ignite passive. And Teemo takes the turret. Afro taking an early lead. We're about 9 minutes in. No kills left. Afro about 1,000 gold ahead. 1 turret. 80 CS to Lee Sin's 42. Lee Sin actually waiting in the bushes. Now's his time to strike. He's at a very low mushroom part of the map, and then Teemo's just going to back off, grab the health relic, and then just kind of walk away. Teemo doesn't have to fight him here. He can just keep pushing the lane, and then, oh, Lee Sin lands the ultimate. Actually gets him in turret range. That was great timing, and Lee Sin's going to keep pursuing this. Both players ignite each other. Afro's actually going down in this exchange. Lee Sin's going to finish him and grab the first blood. That was great play by Evildice. Now's gonna be the time he's gonna push the wave and then go kill himself. This is so that he can actually go back and buy. He's still behind in gold by about 600, but we're gonna see what Teemo gets, and that is a great choice right there. He's gonna grab a Vamp Scepter, Ninja Tabby, and a Frozen Mallet. Lee Sin, good luck getting away from him. He's gonna try to get some, damage onto the turret. Let's tune in Teemo. He's on duty, I guess. He's actually leveling Blinding Dart next, after Toxic Shot. Seeing a lot of great plays here. That engage went really well for Evildice. I mean, that's kind of obvious considering he came out with first blood, but he was able to kick him right at the last second where minions just died, so the turret took aggro onto Teemo, started doing damage, helped get him down, and in a straight-up fight, it's going to be hard for Teemo to win without the use of his shrooms. And since Teemo just took down that first tier turret, there was nothing over there. So that was probably the best time for Lee Sin to fight, and he took advantage of it. And that's great heads-up play. Lee Sin waiting in the bushes. Oh, Evildice actually lands the exhaust. Does he want to go in on this? It looks like he's winning right now. Afro getting ulted back towards Evildice's turret. Now Evildice is going to Tempest towards a minion, or Safeguard rather. And then the exchange is going to end. Evildice looks like he came out on top there. He's healing quite fast. If he can get another engage on Afro, he might be able to take him down. But with that Frozen Heart, he might get kited. But it's really kind of hard to kill and kite a Lee Sin with Teemo. Unless Evildice misses a lot of resonating strikes, I'm not sure that he'll be able to kite him. Lee Sin's items, I guess I didn't really go over those, but he got Hex Drinker and Brutalizer with a Vamp Scepter. That extra Vamp Scepter combined with Lee Sin's, passive lifesteal, that's going to be fantastic for him. Evildice safeguarding the minion. Keeping Teemo at bay. Trying to push him off the minions, but like I said, Teemo doesn't have to fight Lee Sin here. He can just go for this, I'm going to push your turret down way, because that's a way to win. I mean, let's keep in mind, there are 2 victory conditions for this fight. For this tournament. You can get 3 kills, or you can kill the inhibitor. Teemo racing Lee Sin for the health relic, and then Lee Sin tries to ult him off of it, and then Teemo actually still gets it. Now, in terms of builds here, I feel like Teemo's build is fairly good. The Frozen Mallet's going to be really good in this matchup. Both Ignites coming out, Evildice going in, but the minions are in Afro's favor. It's going to make Evildice really hard. He might safeguard to a minion to save his life. The Hex Drinker pops, and then Afro's just going to keep going, pushing the wave, placing the... Wow, look at that damage. This is kind of surprising. Evildice, I don't think he's ready for this. Afro noticing Lee Sin likes to hang out in that bush, and he says, "You know what? I'm gonna put a mushroom in there. No problem. You want to go in that bush now? Go for it." Evildice is extremely low. You know, I feel like if Teemo has at least one summoner up, maybe exhaust, he might be able to catch Lee Sin off guard. But they're so close to the turret, he's got to be careful. Evildice, if he sees Afro, you know, get turret aggro for even a second, he can just resonating strike in there, turn him around, kick him right into the turret, and then that's the end of Teemo. Evildice, wow. Just kind of keeping him off the minions. He knew that he wasn't going to come out on top in that exchange, so he just said, you know, I'm going to ult you through the minions, and that's how I'm going to wave clear. I'm just going to kick you through your minions. So here they are. Wow. Evildice getting hit by the shroom. Afro actually able to pop the Hex Drinker once more. Then Afro's just going to keep going on that turret. He's got to add almost half. Evildice has to do something soon, or else if he keeps going at this rate, he's going to lose his turret and then eventually the game. Because once the turret's down, Teemo has really little reason to stop pushing. There's nothing to stop him except for this blind guy who likes to kick stuff. Here he goes, grabs the health relic, no problem. With Evildice pushed to his turret, he's not going to be able to sustain because Afro's in such a commanding position that he can just take every single health relic. And that's going to be the key to victory. Look at him. He's staying away from Evildice and is just picking away at that turret. Boom. Pick, 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 pick. Ends a resonating strike. He's actually going to go in. He's got the minions in his favor, but he knows that there's mushrooms everywhere. Safeguards to the minion, tries to get some autos off, and then he's just going to get kited. He's getting kited right now, but oh, here comes the exhaust off from both of them. Afro grabs the health relic. Lee Sin's going to have to kick him away. He knows that he's going to lose that engage. His cooldowns are down. He can't safeguard to escape. There he is. He's just trying to harass. He's trying to poke him down. I feel like if Lee Sin still had his ultimate, he'd have the advantage. He'd have the ability to kill him right now, but he doesn't. Evildice is aggressively trying to push these minions back off the turret so Teemo can't get any free shots off. I'm not sure how long, though, he's going to be able to keep this up. It's a great effort. I'll say that, though. Using Tempest to try to get rid of him. The Ignite goes off on Teemo, but Afro uses his Ignite on Evildice at the same time. Afro trying to kite him, and they're going to trade. Wow. And that's going to go in Evildice's favor. That is crazy. That was probably the best play he could have done there. Hands down. Because they traded kills, which they were both going to have to die again eventually. But Evildice already had a kill. So now he's up 2-1. Just needs one more kill to win. Still has the 1 kill difference. So he's got kind of some breathing room. I mean, yeah, you don't want to give away a free kill, but he can go a little harder than usual. And really have less chance, like less risk. Because if he goes hard and wins the trade, gets the kill, he's gonna get, he's gonna win the game. Now, buying. These are the final items, potentially. Teemo grabs a health elixir, the blood razor. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. And Evildice just right out of the gate starts going on Afro, and then here comes the kite. Evildice, what's he gonna do? He actually safeguards into the fight again. Afro taking a lot of damage, but Evildice not really looking too good himself. The shield pops from Hexdrinker, but Afro grabs the health relic. Evildice not looking good. The frozen mallet's preventing him, and Afro picks up the kill on Evildice as he was just struggling. He's like, oh, I need to get that health relic. And this could be it, because Teemo can take the turret off this, I believe, if he wants to. I'm not sure if he's going to kill himself to try to keep the item advantage, keep even on items, but he's going to be able to take this turret with 15 seconds left. I think he's going to be able to finish this inhibitor for game 1. Yep, that was... Evildice did exactly what I think he should have done. Go hard like that, but at the end of, you know, that health relic really changed that game. That was a really great game 1. That was game 1. Will we see a Teemo ban? My guess, yes. Teemo is a really strong champion on this map anyway. But so it wouldn't be like it wouldn't be a waste of ban really. We get back in the game here. That was well played by both sides though. That was great. I hope they didn't start without me. I mean, if need to, I can just jump in. Got a sweet invite here. I probably got it and I just didn't notice. Guy's not enjoying it. 1 sec on bans. Bum-ba-da-bum-bum-bum. All right. We're getting ready for bans. Game 2. Here it comes. That was actually a really good game. I really liked that game. Rengar coming out from Irafro. That is a great ban. You had to ask me my top 2 bans. Like, champions that I feel like need to be banned on this map. Rengar is one of them. Evildice saying, I'm not having any more of that. No more Teemo. Kind of expected. I got the ban order wrong, but that's okay. We'll let it slide. I don't think it matters that much. So, Irafro, Jace, and Irelia. Both great bans. Irelia, very strong. Knocked out a lot of strong contenders that I saw while I was updating the finals. By the way, if you just tuned in, you are watching round 3, I believe it is round 3, of the final 32 players in the 1v1 tournament for Curse, where the prize is $2,000 and a chance to be a sub on the Curse team. Cho'Gath and Vayne. Bans from Evildice. The other ban for this map is Jace, that I would ban personally. Jace, he's very strong. He just does insane damage because, keep in mind, like, they're gonna nerf him next patch, but this patch he's still strong. We're still playing on the current patch, so he's insane damage. Waiting on the last ban from Evildice. He's definitely putting a lot of thought into it. He's banned Rise before, but I feel like that's a wasted ban. And he's banning Lee Sin. Now that is interesting. Interesting. We're gonna jump right in. That's some interesting stuff. Because he played a lot of Lee Sin. Like, we've seen him. Like, I've cast 2 Evildice games so far, like matches, and he has picked Lee Sin in 2 games of those, which is half because we haven't seen a best of 3 yet. Like, it's always been 2 games. So Evildice sticking with Rammus because he probably is watching the stream and likes to hear me talk about Rammus. Like, because I want to see AP Rammus. Come on, let's be real here. Who doesn't want to see AP Rammus? Raise your hand. No one's raising their hands because everyone wants to see that. So right now they're just picking troll picks right now. Mordekaiser is an okay pick, but I don't think he's actually gonna do it. If he's watching the stream, that's okay because I've already briefed a majority of people to just kind of pick troll stuff until the last 10 seconds, like until the last second, because I was unable to set up a delay. But it has not been an issue so far. It has really had no effect, and I'm okay with that. At the last second, you're going to see them switch to the actual champions that they wanted to go for. So here they go. Cho'Gath, Ezreal. Wow. Immediately, this is going to be a great matchup. I can already say that right now. In other news, this is just completely off topic. I'm writing down a lot of like the bans and stuff like that, and all the information right now. And I was so busy talking about Rammus during the first game when I was writing everything down that I put Irafro versus Rammus. Like, wow, I really want Rammus to be played. So we can check out Ezreal here. Ezreal's runes. I have been Afro. I've been switching back and forth, but for some reason I decided to throw the in there just to be you know, like, all completed out, giving you a huge shout out for your full name. Same runes as before from Evildice. Fairly standard runes for an Ezreal. Cho'Gath, on the other hand, he's using Avarice Quince, Magic Penetration Reds, Flat Armor Seals, and Ability Power per Level Glyphs. Now, this is going to be great. This is why I wanted this. This is the matchup that I'm super excited for, because we have a tanky AP champion versus a squishy Ezreal. Now, this is great. And what, like Caboose just said, they're not showing their real champs, so they're... Yeah, that is his Maokai rune page, as it said. So immediately, I want to give Afro the advantage here, because I know Cho'Gath is great. His sustain is ridiculous, and he can just build armor and then kind of shut a lot of Ezreal's damage down. Cho'Gath actually has surprising... Like, his rune choices are a little questionable. They're like, the Avarice runes, like, maybe he just wasn't set up for this. But I'm really... They're interesting, to say the least. I mean, he's going to have the gold advantage straight out of the gate. The extra gold is kind of useless for this. But I think if Ezreal can make it to late game, he's going to have it. The problem is, if he gets shut down early, it's going to be hard for him to come back. So we have 30 seconds left on the delay. Go ahead and let me know in chat, people watching, who do you think is going to take this game 2? Do you think Evildice is going to come back, rally back, take game 2, and then move on to game 3? Or do you think Afro's going to clean this up, take the win, walk away, move on to round 4? What do you think? We got an Evildice fan here. Exactly. Yeah, here we go. Evildice, if he gets the late game. He's got a great pick. Ezreal is pretty good on this map. Having the free flash, that's not bad. What's up, Shell? Anyone else hate this bug? Just do this to anyone else. Drives me insane. What? Awesome. So, neither player actually opting for flash. They're both running Exhaust Ignite. World ends and we never finish the game. Yeah, if you put your money on that, that's weird. So here we are. Cho'Gath kind of, you know, playing possum. You know, I'm a little AFK right now. Ezreal actually did buy his items. Standard start for most AD based champions. The 2 Dorans, the boots, and the 2 health potions. I like that start. I mean, it's good, and it's good for a lot of reasons that are fairly obvious. Afro starting with the Doran's Ring and Ninja Tabby. Ninja Tabby's a great choice of boots. Ezreal has no crowd control. He's got a slight amount of, you know, magic damage, but at the end of the day, Ninja Tabby is going to be able to help him out a little better. A little more, rather. 2 health potions as well. Now, Cho'Gath's sustain is insane in lane. If he's good at last hitting. But it's going to depend, because if Ezreal gets the advantage, he's going to be able to zone him out. And then that's going to be kind of an issue. But here we are at the beginning. Cho'Gath trying to get the Rupture down. Rapture. But does land the silence, gets a little damage on. Tells Ezreal what's up. Sadly, no skin from Cho'Gath. I was really having my fingers crossed for Gentleman Cho'Gath. But sadly, Ezreal wins the skin fight with Frosted Ezreal. Probably his 3rd best skin. Gotta discuss the important aspects of the matchup. The skins. The vanity choices. Now here we are. Cho'Gath getting zoned out. Kinda a little bit here. He's having the last hit with Rupture, and that's not too good. That's not a good sign already. I love the fact that bots are now using skins. Like, that's fantastic. It makes me so excited. It makes me want to play bot games. If I could turn on the settings so they would always use skins, that would be sweet. Yeah, it is like an advertisement. Now, what's funny is Cho'Gath's actually getting zoned out, but he's still kind of keeping up in CS, and that's what he needs to do. And those Avarice Quints guys, we were all laughing about them, but that's going to come into play here. Now, both players level 5. Ezreal leveling Mystic Shot first. Wow, I could not remember that. Instead of Essence Flux, I mean, that's widely debated between Ezreals. Although Essence Flux is getting nerfed. But it's a good choice in this matchup because Cho'Gath is not going to go for the auto attacks. He's not going for the trades in that sense. And Irafro is actually leveling Silence first, which actually does get up to quite a long time. Yeah, I would say about 3 seconds, maybe a little more, at max rank. And that's going to be really rough for Ezreal, who actually kind of, as an AD carry, relies quite a bit on spells. Spell casting in general. 27-24 right now, but those Avarice Quints gonna keep him in. He's actually winning right now because of those. Just saying. Just saying. Maybe he's just thinking so ahead of the game, so meta. It's got such meta thinking. The thing I'm worried about with Cho'Gath not having a flash or a gap closer in general is, you know, Evildice is going to be able to Essence Flux. And whoa, the exhaust is coming out from Irafro. The exhaust retaliating on Evildice. And Evildice is just going to auto attack his way through that exchange. I guess Irafro didn't realize that he was out of mana during that. And was just like, oh crap, he got caught with his pants down kind of way. And Evildice actually getting the Ignite off. Will he try to land the ultimate here? Will he? Nope. Evildice just letting go. It's kind of more of a, I'm going to tell you what's up kind of Ignite. Like, I'm not going to kill you with it, but I'm going to, you know, I'm just going to tell you what's up. Exactly. Exactly like you said. Gap closing is going to be the problem here. Now Cho'Gath should start trying to get some feast stacks here. He might be saving his feast for an engage, which is what's going to be in Cho'Gath's advantage. If he can catch Ezreal, and like after an Essence Flux, he's going to be in a good position. But until then, it's going to be really hard for him to catch him. They are about even in farm though at this point. Fairly passive game right now, which is great for Evildice. He needs to get to the late game. He's only going to get stronger over time. Cho'Gath might get stronger with the right item build, but like if he goes like a Frozen Heart, maybe a Thornmail. Wow, Evildice taking 2 turret shots. If that Rupture would have hit, that would have been really bad news for him. I was a little greedy. Yeah, he's gonna have to chug some health potions after that. And Cho'Gath at 2 feast stacks. We're gonna root him on because not much is going on. 30 seconds until his next feast stack, if he chooses. Cho'Gath, just tell the warning ignite. You really want to ignite on cooldown. It lets your opponent, you say, okay, this guy ignited me. He's crazy. Now that's exactly the kind of rupture that he wants. He still got hit by the rupture after the Essence Flux. Wow, the ultimate comes out from Ezreal to push the lane. Wasn't really aiming for Cho'Gath. He's just trying to take that turret, it looks like. But what I was saying about Cho'Gath's rupture, that was probably the ideal engagement. Not that moment, but that's what he's looking for. He's looking for landing the rupture despite Essence Flux being used, because then he's still slowed by about 70%. Here it comes. He gets hit by the rupture, and then he Essence Fluxes, and he's still slowed by, what is it, 70%? Let me double check that. 60% at rank 1. That's quite a large slow. That's going to give Cho'Gath the opportunity to catch up to him, especially if he still has exhaust. Slows on top of slows, they actually do stack, I believe. That's going to help him catch him, deal with the gap close, and then Ezreal's going to have to hold on for about 15 seconds before he's going to be able to flash again. That's 4,500 gold to Cho'Gath's 4,600 gold. Avarice Quince. What's up? That's all I'm going to say. Bringing that up one more time. No problem. Wow. Let's go over there and back. Little farm fest going on. This is like watching a normal top lane here, except with health relics. Cho'Gath getting big. Oh yeah. 4 feast stacks. He's going to be huge soon. Literally. This one is not boring. This one's super exciting. You gotta stay amped. Oh! Evildice almost getting hit by the rupture. This might be the engage that Evildice is looking for, because Irafro's cooldowns are down, but he's not actually going to go in on here. Now Ezreal actually getting the exhaust off. Did I start the recording for this? Alright, sweet, I did. Woohoo! Alright, technical difficulty, but it's good. Evildice getting silence. Whew! A little sweat. Like, yeah, that was a little close. Moving on. Ezreal using his ult to just farm. I don't think he's really going to go for engages yet. He's just deciding, I want to get up. He's at 4,000, almost 4,000 gold. Wow. He still gets hit by the rupture after Essence Fluxing again. He's at about 4,000 gold. Cho'Gath's at about 4,200 gold. This is going to be a great... This might be the long game that we've been looking for, guys. Buckle in. For those of you just joining, you're watching the Curse 1v1 tournament. The prize for this tournament is $2,000. We're in the final 32 people. Irafro actually getting aggressive here. He just wanted to run up and silence. And I am your caster, Tyler, Azel TV. For those of you interested, I'm pretty fun to be around. I don't know what's going on Pluto's stream, but now what's great is Irafro is actually doing a great job at landing the ruptures before Evildice is able to Mystic Shot out. In this sense, what I think is going to happen with this game, Cho'Gath's going to build tank. If he builds AP, I feel like it's going to be a mistake. What I think might be an interesting choice, I'm not saying it's going to be the greatest choice. I think maybe Shurelya's on Cho'Gath. He is at 5 stacks. He's almost at max stacks, so this could be it, guys. This is the moment we've been waiting for. He's slow balling it. He's trying to get 6 stacks, and then he's gonna be aggressive. But I don't think a Shurelya's would be too bad of a choice. It would be an interesting choice. I'm not saying it's gonna be the greatest choice, but it's gonna help him catch up to Ezreal. And I think that's gonna really be it's going to be really the main factor in engagements, because Ezreal's going to just be able to Essence Flux around whenever he wants. Another, good idea that he might have, if he wants to go a little more aggressive, maybe, and this is, I'm just thinking of weird items here that he could do, because I feel like the obvious choice is, like, Frozen Heart. But he could go for, like, an Hourglass. Look at that. Evildice actually Essence Fluxes towards him. Irafro taking a lot of turret shots. Gets the Ignite off. Evildice is going to chase this, but then he's going to back off. He's going to go for the minions. I thought he was going to go for stuff. And then Cho'Gath doing the dance. Doing the dance. Doing the dance of many void creatures before. That was probably... Ah, man. He won some fans with that one. Irafro landed the... Oh, and this could be it. Evildice having to flash out. The feast is up. If he lands this rupture, it's going to be dead. Evildice, and that's going to be first blood for Irafro. 12 minutes into the game. That's what we're talking about here. It's like a soccer match. This is that kind of game. Now, Cho'Gath is so beefy right now. It's going to be... It might be really hard for him to die to the turret, so he might want to start on that right now. Yeah, I bet Irafro did feel pretty good about that. Ezreal probably tasted really good. And this is kind of the downside of Cho'Gath, though, on this map that I realized. When he kills himself, he's going to have to get his feast stacks up again. So how long did it take him to get to 6? Time to have fun with that. Now, Evildice is going to have to be a little more weary of his positioning there, because he kind of got caught in a weird spot. He only has one Essence Flux, so he's got to use it. He's got to use it correctly. Ezreal did pick up a Trinity Force and a Negatron Cloak with Berserker Greaves. That's pretty ideal. He wants the Trinity Force for damage. The Negatron Cloak is going to help deal with any kind of damage output that Cho'Gath's going to have. And, oh, this Cho'Gath's going for straight AP. He went for a Rabadon's and a Deathfire's Grasp. That burst is going to be insane. One landed Rupture. And I think this is what we wanted to see here. Wow, Ezreal actually just doing work on that turret. That was really crazy. Whoa! He almost got the, is he just Deathfire grasping for, harass? He's just like, what's up? Just like his Ignite. He just ignites just to use it. That's awesome. So he went back. He had about 50 ability power before he died and went back. And now he's got 429. Evildice actually dodging the Rupture there. Gets hit by the Silence, doing tons of damage. Evildice dodging the Rupture again. Afro's in trouble. This could be it for him. Evildice, if he dodges this correctly, he actually does a weird flashback, and Evildice kills him. This is what he needed. He might actually be able to take this turret. With Trinity Force, he's gonna have a lot of damage on this thing. Look at this. It's actually at half. Cho'Gath has 10 seconds to spawn. This could be game right here. I'm not sure if Cho'Gath's going to be able to kill Evildice in time. That one death. Look where that's gotten him. Inhibitors at half. This could be game right now. Cho'Gath is in make or break right now. If Evildice can still stay away from him long enough, the Rupture lands. His flash is down. Will he be able to get the feast off? Oh, he lands it, and then Cho'Gath is going to get the kill. This is going to be a close one. It went from a long game where I was like, oh, great, this is going to be an hour long. And now we're just, bam, back and forth. Afro's got his second kill. He only needs one more to win the game, but it's going to be hard to keep Ezreal off of that inhibitor. And Cho'Gath's going to try to take down this turret as fast as he can before he dies, but he does need to die if he wants to actually buy something. He's not going to buy. Unless he's just denying that, but I don't think he's going to die in time. My caster name, by the way, is Evildice. I will post information in the chat later, just to let you guys know. And Irafro is not going to go back. He's satisfied with his items right now. He probably doesn't have a lot of gold. He's got about 1,700. He might be able to get something, but, I kind of agree with that. He's waiting in the brush. If he lands a Rupture here, this is going to be fantastic for him. Oh, Evildice doesn't even know he's there. Look at the burst. If he has the if he has the feast up, he's gonna get it. The ignite comes off, and Irafro walks away with the victory. His second win. Unbelievable. That is... that was a great game. That was a great finish. Irafro doing some victory. I want him to victory dance. Do some slash dance action. Come on. That was well played there. That was fantastic thinking. Well execution. No victory dance from Irafro. But he takes the victory on game 2. He moves on. Evildice, after putting on some great shows for us, he's moving on down to the losers bracket, where he still has a chance to win the game, but he's got to work his way up through there. So let me check on the brackets here. And that was our round 3 coverage of that game between Irafro and not Rammus, as I have written down, Evildice. Thanks for tuning in. Soon coming up, we'll have round 4 games, maybe more round 3 games. I don't know where the bracket's at. I'm going to check on that. But until then, I'm your caster, Ezreal. Thanks for watching.